As Ukraine's bold push into Russia's Kursk border region enters its second week, Moscow has reportedly resorted to using glide bombs in a defensive capacity. This marks a shift in strategy, as these munitions were previously employed for strikes deep within Ukrainian territory. Now, the tide has turned. Russia is using them to bombard its own territory in an attempt to repel the advancing Ukrainian forces. With Vladimir Putin's forces facing mounting pressure in Kursk, the Russian Air Force has dramatically ramped up its offensive operations. After initially deploying the smaller FAB-500 bombs, they have now unleashed the massive 3,000 kilograms FAB-3000s. Launched from advanced Su-34 supersonic fighter bombers, these formidable weapons were reportedly used to target a concentration of Ukrainian personnel and military equipment. The strikes aimed at a temporary deployment area in Ukraine's Sumy region, which directly borders Kursk, are said to have inflicted substantial damage on Ukrainian positions. Russian state media outlet RT has amplified claims of the strike's success, releasing a video on social media platform X showcasing the bomb launch. RT further asserts that Ukrainian forces in Kursk are now critically low on supplies. Another video circulating online purports to show Ukrainian equipment being withdrawn from the region, suggesting a potential retreat. However, these claims, including the authenticity of the videos, have not been independently verified. The situation in Kursk remains fluid and fraught with uncertainty, as both sides engage in a high-stakes struggle for control. The intensity of the conflict in this newly active war zone is undeniable. Ukrainian battalions are under constant pressure as they endure relentless Russian bombardments. The Ukrainian General Staff has noted a sharp escalation in combat activity, with Russian forces aggressively deploying aviation, helicopters, and heavy weaponry in their offensive. In a Facebook update posted at 10 p.m. on August 7, 2024, the Ukrainian General Staff detailed the day's staggering toll. 68 combat engagements had occurred since morning, with the Sumy direction seeing particularly fierce fighting. Russian forces have not hesitated to leverage their air superiority, launching a relentless series of attacks. The scale of Russia's offensive is staggering. A missile strike was launched deep into Ukrainian territory, accompanied by 50 airstrikes and the deployment of 55 guided aerial bombs. On the ground, the intensity was no less severe, with Russian forces utilizing 674 kamikaze drones and unleashing 3,682 shelling attacks on Ukrainian troop positions. The sheer volume and precision of these attacks highlight the brutal nature of this conflict and the immense challenges faced by Ukraine's defenders. The Ukrainian Center for Defense Strategies has also observed a major change in Russian air tactics. In response to the ongoing war, Russia has launched a counter-terrorism operation in several border regions. This strategic shift is clearly visible in the dramatic reallocation of Moscow's air power, with almost half of all guided bomb strikes now concentrated on the Kursk and Sumy oblasts. On the ground, Russian forces are also stepping up their operations. They have deployed AGS-17 and AGS-30 automatic grenade launchers, now upgraded with high-tech DS-T4 sights. These sights have a laser rangefinder and ballistic computer, making their artillery much more accurate and deadly. The use of glide bombs by Russian forces is not a recent tactic. Ukrainian officials have documented their presence since the early stages of the conflict in 2022. However, the past year has seen a significant escalation in their deployment, with these munitions now playing a central role in Russia's offensive strategy. hundreds are reportedly dropped daily, inflicting substantial damage on Ukrainian defenses and infrastructure. As the war has progressed, Russia has intensified its assault on Ukraine's frontline cities in 2024, employing glide bombs and an expanding network of airstrips at a scale previously unseen in the conflict. The escalation is evident in the increased ferocity of Russian attacks. It took a year for Russia to devastate Bakhmut, where glide bombs were first used. This was followed by months of destruction in Avdiivka, and then just weeks to achieve similar devastation in Vovchansk and Chasiv Yar. Unlike traditional gravity bombs, glide bombs possess flight control surfaces, enabling them to be released from afar, frequently beyond the range of Ukrainian air defenses. This, combined with their swift flight, minimal radar visibility, and unpredictable trajectories, makes them exceptionally challenging to intercept. Effective countermeasures are limited to either downing the launching aircraft or eliminating it at its base. Fitted with a unified planning and correction module, these glide bombs can be deployed from substantial distances, effectively transforming them into potent standoff weapons. The impact results in an enormous fireball with a broad blast radius, obliterating everything in its vicinity. The initial blast releases volatile chemicals into the atmosphere, which are then pulled back into the fireball, along with the surrounding oxygen. Seconds later, a catastrophic explosion and shockwave rip through the area, leaving behind scenes of utter destruction. Victims of this merciless weapon often suffer from suffocation and horrific burns. While the use of glide bombs itself does not breach international law, targeting civilians with them does. These bombs are highly destructive yet notoriously imprecise. Their deployment within Russia poses a grave risk to civilian lives, an issue the Kremlin appears to be acutely aware of. To mitigate civilian casualties, Russian authorities have ordered the evacuation of Kursk Oblast, relocating approximately 121,000 people from the region. This mass evacuation of Kursk signals a disturbing escalation in the conflict. The Kremlin's decision to remove civilians suggests it's prepared to unleash even greater levels of aggression in a desperate bid to stop Ukraine's advance. With the area cleared, Russian forces can now utilize their glide bombs with devastating intensity, turning the region into a perilous war zone. Now, as the stakes rise in Kursk and the conflict intensifies, will these glide bombs ultimately turn the tide in Russia's favor? Or will Ukraine's determined forces find a way to overcome this latest challenge in their relentless pursuit of liberation? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment below, and thanks for watching.